Hey y'all, it's your girl KT and welcome back to the Confessions of a Publicist. I know y'all, it's been a while. It's been definitely a while since I've done these videos, and I had to get back to it because, as you guys know, I am a lover of everything public relations wise, communications, marketing, and I really want to be able to help not only my business owners and entrepreneurs that's thinking about getting public relations into their business, but I also want to help the students out understand more about public relations. So this is why I started Confessions of a Publicist. But first, if you're new to the channel, hi, my name is KT and I'm your new favorite publicist that comes live to you on this channel to talk about public relations, business advice, career advice, and a sprinkle of lifestyle from here to there. So today's video is basically so you think you want to be a publicist, right? And I'm actually going to give you 5 things to actually kind of think about that's actually challenges as a publicist that you'll be facing in the field before you get into it. Because I'm not gonna say this, but I wish somebody would have gave the game to me like I'm giving it to y'all. Because don't get me wrong, when I got into public relations, nobody told me for real what the outline was gonna be, what it is when you getting up the ladder, all that kind of stuff. So before you get into public relations, I want you to consider the challenges, and I'm gonna give you 5 of them today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight on into the video. So y'all, one of the many challenges, and I think it's the very first one, and one that nobody really, it didn't dawn on me about it, but it's really work-life balance. And why I say work-life balance is because as a public relations professional, you are hands-on at all times. This also plays a part if you're in-house or if you're agency life. If you don't know what those terms are, I'm definitely going to do another video that talks about that. So that'll be out probably after this video. If it's out before, I'll link it in the cards or tell you guys when I drop it. But work-life balance is something that as a public relations professional, I know I struggle with. It's something that you have to get used to. You will be working nights and weekends, especially if your company or organization does a lot of events or you have to be present. I can tell you, as a public relations marketing assistant, I did some events. So at the time I was working at the airport, so we did have some weekend events that I had to be there for, but we did a lot of back and forth. But once you get up the ladder in corporate America, especially if you're having aspirations to maybe be a VP of communications or a chief communication or marketing officer, you will be on call. So as the public relations manager and now director of public affairs, I am on call anytime that phone rings, and they gave me my own phone, so I can't give them this whole, oh well, it's my personal phone, I don't have to answer it when I don't feel like it. They gave me my own phone. They paid a bill on it, so I need to answer it. So when emails pop up, I need to answer them. Especially in the line of industry that I'm in now, we do a lot of weekend events. I can tell you, once I first got into the director of public relations, public affairs, position here in Tennessee, baby, the first 5 months, I don't know where we were. I was every weekend, I was at an event. Every night I was at an event. It was something. So you are on call a lot, and that deals with a lot of work-life balance because, again, you're going to spend a lot of time away from your family, away from your friends, away from some of your hobbies sometimes. Like, I know I talked about this on YouTube and I show you guys the day of my life, and it's all cute and fun sometimes, but there is a very much trade-off sometimes about what I have to do. Sometimes I'm very busy and I don't have time to basically look at the phone, or there's dead time, but there is also just a way of having some type of work-life balance. So if you're looking to get into public relations, understand that that might be one of the challenges for you, is work-life balance. So challenge number 2 is going to be being multifaceted and juggling more than one project at a time. This also depends on where you are, but especially if you're in-house, you're doing multiple things. Like, I understand, people really don't understand, especially in organizations, that communications, public relations, and marketing are very different tactics. Yes, they kind of, you know, go hand in hand and complement each other, but there are so very facets, but they throw it all under public relations or sometimes communications. So you're doing everything. So you're working on a press release here, you're working on a digital marketing campaign here, you're working on advertisement ads for this campaign, you're working on communication going in and out. It's so much. And then with agency life, you're working with multiple clients at one time, juggling, you know, maybe somebody need a press release here, maybe you got to start pitching them out, maybe you got to get them booked on this. Being in public relations means you're going to wear so many hats at any given moment, and I'm talking about in a short moment's time. So understand, if you're not someone that, you know, thrives off working off different projects at different times, that this is going to be very hard for you to be in public relations, because again, you're always doing something different. If you're somebody who's really like the mundane type of person who wants to do the same thing every day, that's not it. This is not it, y'all. I can tell y'all, my day does not look the same from one day to the next. Monday does not look like Tuesday, and Tuesday do not look like Friday, and Friday don't look like next Friday. I am telling you, there's always going to be something going on, and if you cannot handle multiple projects at one time, public relations might not be for you. Number 3, if you are someone that can't work under pressure, it might not be for you. I can tell you, especially when you're in crisis mode, the pressure is on, the stakes are high, and you got to come up with a solution quick, fast, and in a hurry. Specifically in my industry, and I wouldn't say everything is a life or death moment, but especially in the industry I am, it is literally life or death that I'm dealing with when we're talking about getting communications out and how everything has to be, you know, flow through our office. So in that instance, yes, but there's always going to be something that goes on that you have to, you know, put the pressure on, and you have to change, you have to jump on top of something. As far as a press release going on, something hit the news that is now putting your organization in an unfavorable light, what do you do? So there is sometimes a lot of pressure that comes along with being a PR professional, and although, you know, you still have to take the time to think about it, you know, make the right decision. You have to make a quick decision with all the information you have thus far. So you have to make that decision, and I would say especially once you get up the corporate ladder, especially you're getting your director or your manager roles, your boss, your CEO, your executive director, whatever, is really leaning on you to be the subject matter expert when it comes to things in crisis communication. So you're getting pressure from not only your stakeholders, you're getting pressure from your executive team, you're getting pressure from your team. It's a lot of pressure going on, and you got to be the one to come up with the idea. So that's one thing to think about once you're getting into public relations. Challenge number 4 is, if you're someone who does not like constant change, PR is not for you. I'm sorry. There's a quote that I can't remember who actually came up with it, but it says, nothing in life, the only thing you can bet on life to do is to change. And we always say, you know, will this person change? I mean, it's human nature for you to change and evolve, but back to public relations, it's gonna be a lot of changes. One minute your campaign is going this way and something might happen and you gotta change it right then. So if you're not someone who welcomes change very often and very easily, it's going to be hard because you might have to change things on the fly. Something on social media might hit. You might have something, you know, this great campaign that came out, but the news came out and now they're focusing on this. Now you got to shift to figure out how you can get your CEO or some of your directors up on this trend. So as much as public relations is about planning, it's always about change too. So always keep that in mind when you're thinking about, you know, becoming a publicist. And number 5, I titled this differently than what I thought when I first got on the camera. But one thing is, if you're not gonna stand on business as a publicist, this is not for you. And what I mean by stand on business is whatever you put out into the atmosphere about your company, you have to stand on it no matter what. You cannot, I can't say the word that I'm thinking of right now, but you can't fool around and say, oh, you know, this is not what I mean, or people know you as the spokesperson for this organization and you're going around telling folks, oh, you know, that's not what I meant. You gotta stand on business, whether you think that organization is in the right or you think it's in the wrong, or the decision that was made is not favorable. Once you put out that statement, or when y'all agree on this statement, you got to stand on it. And I've seen even in my career that there's a lot of, you know, people who would put out a statement and be like, oh, you know, I don't believe that. I say stay away from conversations that deal with your organization if they're going through something unfavorable, especially if it's in the media. But, you know, at the end of the day, whether you internally agree to it or disagree, or don't think it's a great opportunity, or think that it's not a great decision, you cannot go out here into the atmosphere and say that. You have to stand 10 toes down on whatever statement that came through. Whether it's in your heart that you disagree, you can put that up with your boss later on. You know, maybe you might want to change your company after if it's really that bad and it's bothering you that bad. But no, you got to stand on business. So whatever you put out, whatever you agree to is what needs to stand for you. Well, y'all, those are my challenges that you will face as a public relations professional. And I'm not trying to say all this to scare you into not coming into PR. That's not what this video is about. This video is really to give you the insider information, because a lot of people in the PR industry do not tell you what's happening until you get into that decision, or you get into, you know, that first crisis and you looking crazy because you thinking, oh, I'm gonna get to go home today. No, you're working till 10 o'clock because you got to get this stuff out, or you got to go somewhere and go. It's crazy in this field, and I really want you guys to think about it once you know, get into public relations, because it's not just sitting at a desk, you know, coming up with cute campaigns and everything. It could be very much grunt work. It could be whatever your person, your CEO, your executive director, whatever, your boss, it is whatever they need at that moment. I can tell you, I've worked as an assistant for some of my bosses on site, holding car keys, holding, you know, making sure they got water, anything. So you have to be okay with not only doing the work, which is the public relations, the campaigns, but you got to be okay with, you know, doing or being whatever somebody needs at that time. And I just want to help you guys prepare for that, so you won't be looking crazy like I did when I first started. So without further ado, thank you guys for staying tuned. Hopefully this video helps you out a lot. and, you know, help you make that decision if you really want to become a public relations professional or not. And as always, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you won't miss a beat when I drop a new video. And always don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, where I do my mini confessions of a publicist that kind of give you more bite-sized things about what's going on in industry and all that kind of best practice things. So thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you so much for the support and love. I love you guys down, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye y'all.